Yeah, Monday morning, sunny outside. Looks like a pretty day setting up. But I just seen it on Fox News. Yeah, I watch Fox News. I sure do. Because, see, after 8 years of Obama's administration and 8 years, 10 years of lying liberal media and 18 years or more of vile liberal corruption and all this stuff, and you want to ask me or even question me why I watch Fox News? Well, I don't think you deserve an answer. They started a lie, paid $9 million to an ex-British spy that wrote up a dossier that told him much of the stuff cannot be verified. He put this stuff together. The Clintons paid for it. The DNC, the Democratic National Committee, paid for it. So you know everything over in Democratic parties has their hands in it one way or another. They're supporting it, and basically a lie can't be proven. That's what it amounts to. A lie cannot be proven. It is impossible to prove a lie. It's impossible. The only thing you can do with a lie is lie with it. But anyway, they don't like Mueller's report because the lie couldn't be proven. The new appointee, William Barr, hands over the summary, gives them a summary of the report. They don't like it, and now he gives them a redacted version, which is supposed to cover up maybe who knows, maybe top secret stuff. Maybe it may cover up names in ways that these names may be involved in another investigation or something or other, and he can't release that. He gives them what is legally required. But they're not satisfied with that, so they decide they want to grill him. Congress wants to bring him up in front of them and grill him. And then they turn around, and instead of them grilling him, they want to let subordinates, their lawyers, grill him. And now you got to remember, you got to look back. Now, they've went around, they've done pep rallies, they've done all this stuff, building up their base, firing up their base, saying if you don't support us, we're history. That's basically what they're doing. If you don't support us, we're history. We're toast. We're crushed. Van Jones, CNN, if we'll either win or be crushed. Not lose, not get beat. But for some reason, terribly, miserably, drastically be crushed. I mean, getting beat's not crushed. Losing's not crushed. Why crushed? What was going on? Why would they think people would crush them? Why would they think the moral, upright, decent, honest people in America would crush them? Why crushed? What were they doing? Okay. But anyway, now they want to grill the Attorney General. Oh, we got proof. If they'd had proof, Mueller would have had it in his hands. He'd had it in his hands in minutes. We got proof. We got proof. We got proof. If they'd had a proof, hey, they's the ones that wanted to holler Mueller. It wasn't the Republicans. It was them. It was the Democratic Party. They wanted to hire him. You listen. Robert Mueller, Rosenstein, that was the sitting or acting Attorney General for Barr. And there's another 2 or 3 names there. You know, all the time Obama and others were in office, these people were changing offices. One would be Attorney General. The other one would be the head of the FBI. And these names just kept changing. And then Robert Mueller was one of those names. Okay, he was one of those names. They were being moved around in Obama's administration, in the offices, under his administration. But anyway, then they hired Robert Mueller to investigate a lie they started and proved that lie to be factual against said President Donald J. Trump. They can't prove the lie. And now they don't like the summary or the report of the lie, and they want to grill the Attorney General, that's the sitting Attorney General, William Barr. But instead of them showing enough respect to come out and question himself, they want lawyers to come out and investigate him or question him. What are they doing? They're trying to keep their base active, trying to just feeding this junk through the medias. Listen, people, you got to remember, CNN even had a person admit they let Barack Obama lie. They let him lie. They wouldn't let Donald Trump get by with anything, but they let Barack Obama. That's the thing you got to remember, people. Gruber, the architect of Obamacare, it's up in the air right now with the Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. Gruber, the architect, the man that basically wrote it up, said it was a deception. Obama kicked out a deception. The DNC kicked out a deception. The RNC kicked out a deception. So what are you saying, John? Well, John's saying Barack Obama's administration was deception. His own half-brother talked about Barack's life. He said Barack's whole life is a lie. And I put a video or something out here just a couple of weeks ago. Someone come back, well, Hillary's not president, Barack Obama's not president. What does that have to do with anything and all this stuff, you know? She said, and getting all this mouth. They were the ones that started it. They were the ones that started this last 10 years of sewage being pumped upon America. Up on America. They started it. And someone spit their ignorance out in my face. Well, they're not president. They're not sitting in an office. That don't make this and that and that and that. They started this friggin' lie. And you got idiots like that lick their butts. And then look at us now. People were in trouble. Ignorance is being pumped through the airways of America. It's being sowed. That generation has lost their moral essence. They've lost their moral conscience, and the garbage is being pumped through. That's what's wrong with America. Listen, old Marx, he was a drunken socialist, born back in the 1800s, best of my knowledge. Born back in the 1800s, he died sometime in the early 1900s. He was a drunken socialist, but he was smart enough to know where the strength of America was. If we can destroy the morals of one generation of Americans, if we can drive out the decency, the truth, the honor, the respect, the regard, the uprightness, we can pee on them at will. Duh. A drunken socialist smarter than you. Think about that, man. Smarter than you. Ooh, that ain't giving you much credit. Sorry. You set yourself up for it. But they started a lie. They fed the lie to the millions. They garnered support. They were given legitimacy for a lie. They're in trouble. As long as you kiss their butt, justice is stalled. It's coming little by little. It looks as if right now that, I thought Jeff Sessions was going to do it. But when he recused himself, any honor that he would have had or showed, he just marked it off and just threw it aside because he couldn't step into it. Jeff, maybe he might be a decent person. He's supposed to be. But when he recused himself, he left it to one of the others that were part of it. part of the lie. See, Rod Rosenstein, he's said himself, I'd almost like to wire myself, put a mic on myself, and go sit down and talk to Trump myself. He became part of it. He signed off on the dossier that was a lie. I don't know how many names involved in that dossier that they went to, what that was it, 3 or 4 times they went to the FISA judges to get the permit to do that, and because they didn't have the grounds the first 2 or 3 times, they kept pumping it up, going another route on this till they finally got one to give it to them. And it was based on a lot of people. It was based on a lie. As long as you kiss their butts, you give them legitimacy to their lies. They have wasted billions upon billions upon billions of dollars since Trump got in office. Now you think, oh no, its investigation's only 25 million plus. No, people, the wall should be in. The wall should be in. 25 billion from what I garnered. My memory's a little rough sometimes, but 25 billion will build the wall. But yet we waste what is 85 billion plus a year dealing with the things because the wall is not in place. Because the wall isn't in place, 80 some billion plus a year gone. Because these illegals know that they can come through. And that's not counting, there's a, what is it? I seen something on, it's on Fox. Someone's going to do a special on the opioid crisis. But they're going behind bars. They're going back there and they're going to talk to these inmates that's being called up that are strung out on this friggin' trash. They're going to talk to them. And you see these inmates. I mean, they're dressed in orange or whatever. Again, it's, you know, with the clothes they wear, and they're in tears. You see pictures of people in tears that are strung out on this friggin' garbage. They're strung out on this friggin' garbage. Their life destroyed. Destroyed. A lot of the trash, a lot of the cause of this is right down there on that southern border toward Mexico. A lot of that's coming through there. It's nothing but friggin' trash. The drugs, the human trafficking, the misery is being pumped through the southern border. You know, I'm glad they caught these 2 CEO or something or other. This pharmaceutical said they pumped millions of illegal Oxycontins and other stuff through America. I'm glad they caught them. I really am, man. I hope they bust their friggin' teeth out. I do. I really do. But the garbage, people, the wall's got to be built. It's got to go in. Call your representatives, message them, do something. Tell those friggin' perverts up there to get the wall built. It's costing us more than billions a year. It's costing us the lives of our people. It's costing us the lives of our people. And not just their lives, but it's costing the lives of their families. The agony and misery that their families going through. Maybe they lose a mom, a dad, a son, a daughter, a grandma, a grandpa. And the lives of that family is torn up and ripped up because a family member is going through this friggin' hell. The wall's got to be built, people. It's got to be built. Get your head out of your butt. It's got to be built. Get your head out of your butt. That's not counting. You know that they say by percentage, there's crime has risen. I don't know. I forget how much it was. Let's say out of 100 people, I'll just use a scenario. Out of 100 people, 10 people out of 100 would be killed by American citizens. But they say out of the same 100 of people, 17 would be killed by illegals. Now do you get that picture? Illegal coming into the nation is costing us more lives in murder. They're killing people. And yeah, I'm not saying they're all that way. I'm saying, probably the majority just want a better life. They just want a better life. America has spent, who knows, at the money trying to give people a better life around the world for years. For years. But now, because of the laws that are on the book and the friggin' immoral garbage in the hearts and minds of liberals and socialists, these people now think they have the right to come over and run over Americans to get what they want. You know, you talk to these socialists and the liberals, these friggin' perverts, immoral perverts, you talk to them, well, America's took advantage of everything for years. Hey, we have given more than all other countries combined trying to keep the world glued together. While these friggin' ignorance of Islam goes over murdering one another, America's been trying to go over and get them at peace, get them to live with each other. They're talking like we may end up down there in Africa dealing around that mess down in there. You know, I hate to just have to go down there. Africa's been in civil war for who knows how long. You got these terrorists down there, then you get Christian militia or militants go down and they arm themselves, and they didn't go down there from us. They live down there, but they get in there to try to cut the terrorism off. And they're at civil war. They've been doing that for years. Been doing it for years. And your government they've dealt with it, but the madness is sown into the hearts and minds. These Christian militia militants, these Christians, if they're Christians, they're supposed to be fighting for truth and honor and justice, to be at the surface, and do what's right, see justice served. But I don't know their hearts and minds. I don't know the whole mess, but I'm just talking. They was talking about us going down there and getting involved in that. I don't know. We may already be down there. Maybe it seemed like I remember something here just a few weeks ago talking about sending some people down, but I don't know. But we're in trouble, people. A godless, immoral attitude has driven this nation. It's driven this nation into madness. And your liberal media it's a 24-hour-a-day sewage line. A 24-hour-a-day sewage line, pumping, 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 pumping. It's pitiful. Trump's been telling them for 2 friggin' years there's a crisis on the border. It's got to be dealt with. He talked about it when he's campaigning back in 15 and 16. He talked about it. Ain't no crisis, ain't no crisis. Now they're finally getting off their puss, and here it is, 2019, 3-4 years later, finally getting off their puss and going down there and say, we gotta get something done. Come on, people. You know, let me tell you something. The only reason they get by with this is because you kiss their butts. That's the only reason they're getting by with it. It's because you give their lies legitimacy. As long as you support them, they have legitimacy. Their lies, their treachery, their treason, the filthy stink they push has legitimacy. As long as you kiss their butts. As long as your ignorance keeps you behind them while they spread the cheeks of their butt, they have legitimacy. They get by with it. When you stop, we'll get it fixed. When you stop your ignorance, we'll get it fixed. God give us understanding. Justice is an honorable action. It's not an opinion. It's not a desire. It's not this or that. It's an honorable action taken by facts and not wants.